With the presidential election in January, it was believed that minority communities would come out in their numbers and influence the results greatly. However, the voter turnout in both the north and the east was extremely low. How then do minorities view the upcoming general elections, which will put representatives from their own districts into parliament? What will the outcome of this election mean for the resolution of minority grievances in the future? I spoke with Dr. Keethaponcalan of the Colombo University to find out his views. During the presidential elections in January, there was a very poor voter turnout in the north, and especially in the north, but also in the east to some extent. How do you think the minorities will respond to this upcoming election?
The presidential election, there was no possibility for a Tamil to get elected. Therefore, the minorities, especially the Sri Lankan Tamils, did not come forward to participate in the election. But Parliament, they know it's very important, and it's important to send their representatives to Parliament. Therefore, I would expect a little more participation. And
you said a little more. Why?
Little more. I don't expect 60-70% of voting, but it will come up to like 40-50%.
But why still the lack of voters?
Maybe several reasons. One, many people are not convinced that the parties could do a better job, and others may have practical difficulties in, for example, registering and getting to the booth, etc. Some people are not psychologically ready to join the mainstream and participate as equal citizens of this system. There may be several reasons, yes.
The Tamil people finally have the opportunity to take part in democratic politics, and this has happened with the elimination of the LTT, which is an incredibly welcome development. But do you think this space is being utilized to its full extent?
I would say people did not use the space very well in the past. For example, in the local government elections in Jaffna and Vavuniya, people did not vote that much. But that was immediately after the end of the war. The presidential election is a different story, because the Tamils thought that was the affair of the southern polity, so the Tamil could not get elected, etc. Therefore, they did not come forward. But I think there is a greater realization the parliamentary election is very important. I saw several Tamil groups coming forward, contesting, and also appealing to the Tamil parties to come together and contest as one entity rather than dividing the votes. Therefore, I see greater realization that they have to participate in this election.
There are 660 candidates in Ampara and also another big number in Batiklo. What do you make of this huge number of people coming forward to contest?
Well, in the post-LTT political environment, lots of people see an opportunity to participate in actual politics after a long time. Therefore, they are so eager to compete and get into this political system. That's one. And the other reason is there's always criticism against the major Tamil parties that they are not including enough new voices. Therefore, lots of new faces are coming up.
Would you say this is a good sign?
I think it is a good sign in a way, but at the same time, many Tamils want to see a single Tamil party emerging as the largest party representing the Tamils in the parliament, because that's very important. In the post-election period, there may be a constitutional reform. If you have a process, then you need a strong Tamil representation to deal with that process.
And you don't see that today?
Today, TNA, of course, has large number of members, but the problem with the TNA is that it was elected under the LTTE period. Therefore, lots of people don't see the TNA as the legitimate representatives of the Tamil people, thinking that it was LTTE motivated membership. Therefore, this is a good opportunity for the TNA and also the Tamil people to prove that the representatives are really representing the Tamil people rather than representing an armed organization. The danger with having several Tamil groups is that it could easily split the votes and weaken Tamil representation in the parliament. there is a fear among the Tamil people that a large number of Tamil groups could actually undermine the Tamil polity in the future.
What about the voting rights of the Tamil people? The IDP situation, how do you think this is being handled?
IDPs, of course, they were in a very difficult situation. The space was created by the Election Commission to register and vote, but a lot of people did not register and did not vote due to various reasons. One, they did not have enough space to apply and time, etc. And also they were not psychologically prepared to go to the booth. And there were also practical problems like transportation, fear of reprisal, etc. So in the presidential election, I did not see the voting rights of the IDPs safeguarded. But maybe this time, because there are less number of people in the camps, it's easy for the Election Commission to make arrangement for these people to come forward and vote. And I hope the Election Commission would take that very seriously and indicate that the Tamils also have the right and the possibility to participate in the system.
Okay, now the government has expressed its confidence not only in winning but also in securing two-thirds majority. Why do you think this is so important to the ruling alliance?
Of course, the government is very strong and popular. Therefore, they might get very close to a two-third majority in the coming next parliament. If they get enough seats in the election, or if they can muster enough support after the election, they would certainly go for a constitutional reform. I don't know whether they will change the constitution, but definitely they will reform the constitution. For example, the government sees the 17th Amendment as a problem. Therefore, the 17th Amendment might be dropped in the new constitution. Therefore, the government was eager to address some of the problems the government see as a problem in the current constitution. Therefore, in that sense, the election is very important for the government.
Now, post-election, what would you like to see the ruling alliance deliver to minority communities?
I think the government will win the election. If they win, there is space for a stable government in this country, because the presidential election has given Mahinda Rajapaksa 7 years, and this parliament would probably go for 6 more years. Therefore, for a long time, there will be enough stability in the country to make changes. One, I hope that the government will not do anything harmful to the minority communities by changing the constitution, because the history of constitutional change in this country is the minorities lose every time there is a new constitution. I hope that will not happen in the future. And also, there is still a need to politically address the problems of the people in the northern east. Therefore, I would hope that the government, a stable government that has the capacity to go forward with the changes, would come up with a scheme to address the problems of the people in the northern east, a political scheme.
Do campaign posters make or break a voter's decision? Find out after the break.